NFL Week 11 upon us. What's going on, everybody? Bryan Power back with you to talk about how the Deshaun Watson injury has impacted the line for Browns Steelers, which big favorite on Sunday you might want to sell high on, just how low can the Giants go, a surprising stat on the Buffalo Bills, and probably my favorite over-under for NFL Week 11. Now, without further ado, I should say, let's get the Power 5 going by bringing up the WagerTalk.com live odds screen to see how the market is moving. Here are the key line moves you need to know about for Sunday. Following the announcement that Deshaun Watson is out for the season, the Browns down to -1 at home versus those luckbox Steelers, a team that has been outgained in all 9 of its games this season, yet somehow is 6-3 straight up. Now, I personally was waiting to see if this line would flip, making Pittsburgh the favorite, but as of Friday morning, does not look like that will happen. Stay tuned. Keep checking the WagerTalk.com live odds screen for the latest info. What we do know, however, as of Friday morning, the over-under for this AFC North matchup down to 33, which would be the second lowest total for any NFL game over the last 10 seasons. Just a few other games I wanted to spotlight in this section. Miami, Dallas, and San Francisco, all of whom are double-digit favorites this week, have taken money and figure to be pretty public sides come Sunday. Looking at the WagerTalk.com odds screen, once again, Miami has gone from -10 to -13.5 versus Las Vegas. Dallas has gone from -9 to -10.5 at Carolina. That's a big spread for a road team. And San Francisco has gone from -10 to -11.5 versus Tampa Bay. So keep an eye on that. I'm not necessarily saying that those are the right sides, those big favorites, just that they have certainly taken money, much of it public money, some of it maybe sharp money too, considering that the lines are moving so much. Okay, let's go to the sell high section. Remember, we are looking for a team that we think is on an unsustainable run, perhaps, and or just plain overvalued. Last week, I said that was going to be the Bengals. Sure enough, what did the Bengals do? They lost outright at home to the Texans. This week's sell-high team, it's going to be the Lions, who are curiously down to -8 at home versus the Bears. Now, hear me out on this, guys. This is a bad spot for the Lions, I think. They are off a wild 41-38 win out in LA against the Chargers and have the Thanksgiving game on deck against the Packers. They're going to be around a 7-point favorite. I mean, when was the last time Detroit was a 7-point favorite over Green Bay? You'd probably have to go back certainly to the Barry Sanders era to find the last time that was the case. Meanwhile, back to Week 11, Chicago off a mini bye. They haven't played since last Thursday, and they're off a win. Remember, they beat the lowly Panthers 2 weeks ago on Thursday Night Football. Justin Fields is back for the Bears on Sunday. And if you look at these two NFC North defenses, some interesting takeaways. The Lions have allowed 6 of their 9 opponents to score at least 20 points this season, 3 of which have scored 37 or more. Meanwhile, the Bears defense has surprisingly allowed 24 points or less in 5 of the last 6 games. I think the Bears could keep it close. I'd look to take the points here and sell high on the Lions, who are laying more than a touchdown. Moving to buy low. Here we look, of course, to find a team that is perhaps undervalued or just due for a turnaround. I thought that was going to be the Bills last Monday night. Oops. This week, I'm going the absolute ugliest route possible and saying it may be time, yes, to consider buying low on the Tommy DeVito-led G-Men. Look, the Giants are absolutely the worst team in the league right now. There's no disputing that fact. I understand that. You understand that. But I guess we're about to find out just how much worse the Giants are compared to the rest of the league. Because this week, they're +9 at the Commanders, and next week, they're +5.5 at home versus the Patriots, who I have rated as the second worst team in the league. I just don't think either of those two opponents, the Commanders or the Patriots, should be laying that many points to another NFL team. You look at this week's matchup, keep in mind, the Giants have already beaten the Commanders once this season. Yes, that was with Tyrod Taylor starting at quarterback. And it was interesting that Washington touched -10 at one point because they have not closed as a double-digit favorite against anyone over the last 6 years, and they haven't covered as a double-digit favorite since 2005. So it would be dog or pass for me here in Giants Commanders. And if this line does inch back to 10, I'd consider buying low on the G-men, as awful as that may sound. Who are you looking to buy low and sell high on this week? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments section below. I'll be glad to respond all the way up until kickoff on Sunday. You can make fun of me for contemplating the Giants if you so choose, but if you would be so kind, feel free to smash that like button. Give Power 5 a thumbs up. Okay, let's go to the stat of the week. And I just mentioned that the Bills, I just talked about them a couple minutes ago. What a disappointment it was last Monday night, losing outright at home to the Broncos thanks to 4 turnovers and some other ineptitude. Well, let's talk about the Bills again here in our Stat of the Week section. Did you know that the Bills are the first team since the 1981 Falcons to have a point differential of plus 75 or greater through 10 weeks and yet not have a winning straight-up record? Yes, it is true. The Bills, just 5-5 straight up, obviously. They failed to cover 6 in a row for first time since the 70s, and they just fired offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. For their sake, the Bills' sake, they better beat the Jets this week because their next 3 opponents, Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys. All right, before I get to the power play of the week, I'd like to remind all of you that I do have a 5% max bet going in college football on Saturday. Vast majority of my NFL cards should be available by the time you are listening to this as well. Had a very easy winner Thursday night with the Ravens over their team total, taking advantage of that lousy Bengals defense. Remember, I also went 3-1 in the NFL last Sunday as well. I've now won 6 of the last 7 days overall, including a 10-5 record the last 3 days. For a limited time, you can take $50 off any 30-day package by using the coupon code ALL30 at checkout. That discount's going to apply to any sport-specific package like college football or the NFL, or an all-sports package as well. All access gives you every sport. Keep in mind, I'm off to a 15-9 start in the NBA this year, and also running hot in college hoops with an 8-4-1 run. Okay, let's get to it and round out the Power 5 with our power play of the week, and we're going to look at a total. Under Raiders Dolphins. Yes, I'm going to take an under in a game that involves the highest scoring team in the league, Miami, who's averaging 31.7 points per game and off a bye. But not sure they're going to hit that number this week against the Raiders defense that is surprisingly kind of good. They allow just 20.5 points per game this season, do the Raiders, and they're top 8 against the pass. That seems big when going against Tua. Now, yes, the Raiders just got done facing the Jets and the Giants the last 2 weeks, so certainly that's going to help these Silver and Blacks defensive statistics. But here's the other part of the equation. The Raiders offense, not good. Averaging just 17.2 points per game, and Aiden O'Connell is the starting quarterback. The Raiders have scored more than 18 points in only 2 games this year. One of them, they got a late safety against New England to cross the 20-point threshold. So unless you think Miami's offense goes off coming out of the bye, and they are surprisingly just 20th in EPA per play since week 7, then the under, I think, is the correct call in this one. Yes, running back Devin Achane, he's coming back for the Dolphins, but at 8-2 under this season, the Raiders are tied with the Giants for the best under percentage in the league. Under 46.5 on Raiders Dolphins is your power play of the week, and that's going to do it for Week 11 of the NFL here on the Power 5. Follow me on X, formerly Twitter, at Bryan Power _wins. Make sure you're subscribed to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. I've already dropped the college football version of the Power 5 for this week. You could check that out as well. Until next time, let's cash some tickets.